What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Heckshot and thank you for joining us for today's review, the P365 XL. Man, the past year and a half, love it or hate it, the P365 has absolutely made a big stir in the concealed carry market, and today we're going to talk about its big brother, the XL version. Really quick, thank you to our patron of the week, DLB737, just joined us last month. Thank you for joining the SHOT team. If you'd like to join our awesome community over on Patreon, get some awesome perks, extra videos, polls, things like that, please come over and join our amazing community, the SHOT team on Patreon. Hey, the P365 XL. There's been some criticism of the P365 and a lot of excitement around the P365. And the XL is no different. And of course, we're going to do a separate comparison with the P365, but I at least want to show you size difference in this video. But we will get more in depth in a separate video. So out of the box, you're going to get the gun, two 12-round magazines. All right, this one's loaded, so we're going to keep that in the box and put it off to the side. And then, of course, you're going to get a Sig sticker, some of their literature about their Lima or their Foxtrot lights. I have those to show you as well. And then the P365 manual goes through, tells you everything you need to know about the gun. All right, so the literature is the same as the regular P365 because a lot of the things on this gun are the same. So let's get this box out of the way and show you the star of the show. So let's talk about specs here really quick. Barrel length of 3.7 inches, overall length of 6.6 inches. Weight is 20.7 ounces unloaded, so definitely a little bit heavier. Height is 4.8 inches now, and width is 1.1 inches. All right, so what does that mean? Compared to the regular P365, of course, we are safety checked. Make sure we're good. All right, so the P365, in a nutshell, again, we will go more in depth, but you can see your little bit of extra length right there. 3.1 inch barrel on the regular, 3.7 on the XL. Overall length, again, it's going to make a little bit of a difference there. Weight is 17.8 ounces on the regular P365 and 20.7 on your XL. So you're pretty much in the range of like a Glock 26 or maybe one of the original M&P Shields, PPS Walther, PPS M2. You're in that range now, okay? Height, 4.8 here, 4.3 here. 10-round magazine, 12-round magazine. Let's see what that difference looks like on the table. All right, you have 0.5 of an inch difference. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. But for two more rounds, 0.5 of an inch is the difference you're going to see. All right, we will definitely be revisiting this gun in a later video. And of course, Holster already has their holsters. So if you've been waiting for that, discount code 15% off everything on Holster's sites as far as their holsters. And of course, we got one of their mag carriers, so I already adjusted this. The universal mag carrier. What's awesome about these is that even if you have any 9 or 40 mag, double stack mag, I believe these are considered the double stack mags because of the way they taper their magazines. It's more of a double stack than a single stack. So, but with their MRD or magazine retention device, any 9 or 40 double stack mag will fit. So even if you buy one of these for this gun and you have any other 9 or 40 double stack mag, you can get that to fit inside or outside the waistband. And of course, we'll do a separate video on the holster as well. All right, because we always do that for y'all. All right, but I just want to show you they are out there and ready to go. Discounts and everything. All right. So what's different on the XL? Let's walk around the gun here really quick. You still have that proprietary rail that Sig put on there. The nice thing is that the Foxtrot, the Lima, the Streamlight TLR6, and the Crimson Trace LG422 all fit on this gun. I'm showing you pictures of that now. So that is awesome. Of course, you have a little bit more extension out here. All right, so it's not going to sit flush with the barrel and everything like it does on the 365, but who cares? It still fits around the trigger guard nicely. So that is definitely a good thing. So you have a little bit of an extended slide, a little bit longer barrel. You do have your X-ray sights still, all right, which are a little bit different than the P365 as far as the rear, because now you have this optic plate, all right, which this will come off and you can put a Romeo 0 or one of the Shield RMSC optics on the gun. So it is ready for that. And of course you have your X-ray sight up front there. One thing I raved about on the original 365 and on the Legion 229 review that we did are these sights. Blacked out in the rear, tritium night sight setup, and that bright green dot really picks up nicely in the daytime. Beaver tail now in the back, kind of squared off. All right, so that's nice. You have a much bigger gun. And one thing you'll notice, if you can get both guns at a gun shop and just hold them, you're going to notice this fits like a glove, man. It feels so good in the hand. That's one thing I talked about on our Patreon first shots video, is how good this gun feels in the hand. So you also have your flat trigger. We'll talk about the trigger after the shooting part of the review. Front and rear slide serrations, of course, undercut in the trigger guard, longer grip, and they do have that rough texture finish on the grip all the way around, so it keeps the gun locked into your hand. Reversible magazine release, no slide stop or anything on the right hand side of the gun. So if you're a left-handed shooter, you'll have to get used to that, but you can at least swap around your magazine release there. So their X grip module, not only does it have the beaver tail right there, but it also has an extended and flared magazine magwell, so you can get your mags in and out a little bit easier for sure. And then your flat X trigger, we talked about that. Of course, we'll talk about that more after the shooting part of the review. 4 styles of mags, and you can get 15 round extended mags. In my opinion, they look a little bit ridiculous with the long, straight grip sleeve they put on them. But if you want to use that as a backup, you could definitely do that. Barrel, carbon steel. Slide is stainless steel. And you have a nitron finish on the gun. All right, let's break it down here really quick. Same as the old. Make sure it's clear. Rotate the lever down. Pull the frame off of the gun, or pull the slide off of the frame. You have a single captive recoil spring, all right, which is metal guide rod. And there's your barrel right there. Striker block, of course. And you have your 2 screws right there that you can pull that plate off. So it's all underneath, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it keeps a nice clean look up top. You don't have screw holes right there. So that's kind of nice. All right, put it back together here. Push that in. And then, of course, there's your slide rails and all of that good stuff. All right. Push that down. Slide it back. Slide stop automatically went up. And there you go. Now, one more gun I want to show you compared to this, just as far as size. All right, another popular carry option for some people. A little bit too big for me, but just to give you an idea, the Glock 19. You see the Glock 19 is longer, definitely wider. Grip length, the Glock 19 is 15 rounds. The Sig is 12 rounds. So you probably have, I don't know, 4/10 of an inch there. There's that progression. A little bit less difference between these two than there are these two. So if this is 5/10 of an inch, this is probably 3 or 4, just to give you an idea. But of course, P365 is obviously a little bit lighter and all of that. But I just wanted to show you what that looked like against the Glock 19. All right, let's get to the fun part of the review, the shooting part, and then afterwards we'll talk about the trigger. I'll show you the weight, pros and cons, and our overall opinion of the XL P365. We will see you guys in a minute. All right, we got our 50-yard shots with the P365 XL. I have a feeling this is gonna go pretty well, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, so that went pretty well. I missed 3 out of 12 here, so not too bad with the P365 XL. Of course, like we always say, this is outside of the scope of what you'd use this little gun for, but knowing that it can do that is pretty awesome. All right, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. The gun is a shooter. I think I missed, what, 3 out of... I think I missed 3 shots at 50 yards, so I hit 9 out of 12. Pretty good with a little subcompact single stack. Well, not really a single stack, but little 12-round gun like this. That I'll take that any day of the week. And, of course, at 10 yards, after we got acclimated to the trigger, you would think with that flat trigger like that it would actually be a little bit easier, but it took us a little bit of time to get acclimated to that. Let me go ahead and show you that really quick. Of course, it's their X style trigger, flat face. All right, compare that to the original. See how the original is curved. All right, so you're going to get more of an even break. They say it breaks at 90 degrees. So if you're going to pull straight back to the rear, there's the wall. A little bit of take up and it breaks. Reset right there, and it breaks. And that flat trigger, like I said, it's designed to give you a more straight back type of pull, so your shots are more on target. All right, you do have a little bit of take up there. Let's try it with the trigger gauge scale. See what it pulls at here. 6 pounds 9 ounces. Definitely doesn't feel that heavy. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, 5 pounds 5 ounces. That is way off. Let's try it again. I might have got my finger in the way on that first one. Yeah, 5 pounds 8 ounces. So around 5.5 pounds. The trigger is really nice. Like I said, if you get one of these or you try one at the range, just give it a few rounds, because it's not going to be, for us anyways, it wasn't like an instant, thing like, oh my God, this thing is like a PPQ right out of the box. It took a little bit of getting used to, but man, after I got used to it, I fell in love with it. And the way this gun feels in the hand, it is obviously it's so much more controllable. All right, whenever we were shooting these two side by side, we'll do more of that, of course, in the review, or in the comparison that we do with the guns. But man, it was just like night and day. That little bit of extra length. I got all my digits on the grip there, man, and it just felt amazing. Presenting the gun up to the target, it just, man, they did an awesome job with this. You got 2 extra rounds, so you're gonna have to decide, is that worth it to you? Of course, this gun is updated, so as far as from what we've seen, there's been no issues, so that may make some people a little bit more comfortable with buying a P365, because let's be honest, a lot of our patrons, a lot of you guys here on YouTube have said, I like the P365, I just don't trust it. So maybe this will bring the trust from some people. Maybe they'll start to trust this gun a little bit more and may actually buy one now. One thing I did want to talk about, these of course are metal sights, and you do have a shelf back there, so if you need to do a one-handed reload, you can do that. And let's go ahead and talk about pros and cons here really quick. The number one pro for me is the way this gun feels, man. You just pick it up, and compared to the original, where the original feels good in the hand, this one just feels that much better. And you would expect that with a longer grip. Of course, that's going to come at a cost, but it feels amazing in the hand. All right, the sights are still as awesome as ever. I love the contrast. Again, if I could put these sights on every single one of my pistols, I'd be okay with that. Beaver tail and everything on this one, it definitely helps. keeping the gun rides pretty low. It has a relatively low bore axis anyways, but it, keeps everything off of you, keeps the slide from biting you and all that good stuff. The trigger too is awesome. It really is. Like I said, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, it does a really good job. All of the attachments, all right? So if you've invested in the P365, you're not going to lose that, okay? Which is a good thing. And also, all the mags are compatible. So if I want to take this 12-round mag, throw it in the 365, of course it's going to extend out, but you can get the little extensions there. And all the mags are compatible. That's a good thing, I think, that they did there. Flared magazine well. So compared to the original, that's definitely easier to get your mags in and out. And I like how the magazines, all right, they don't fly out of there, but they at least get out of there, pretty good. Gun feels great in the hand. Sights are awesome. The gun overall, I didn't even talk about the loaded viewport right there, so you can see your brass down in the chamber, but of course you want to check. And the manual of arms on this gun, I just think it's going to be maybe a little bit easier for people to get acclimated to. Slides a little bit easier to rack on this gun. Of course, the bigger the guns get, the easier they are to work. And this gun is definitely a little bit easier all the way around to manage than the P365, the original one anyways. All right, let's talk about these cons. I'm going to be reaching on some of these because I kind of had to figure out what I didn't like about the gun. One thing I did notice is when you have the trigger pulled back like that, all right, the slide sticks just a little bit. We didn't have any issues throughout our testing, but it's just one little thing I noticed. And also the magazines stuck just a little bit. So trying to get those rounds in there, especially, freehanding the rounds, it took a little bit of pressure to definitely get those rounds down in there. It's not the easiest mag to load is what I'm trying to say. And also, with a little bit bigger gun, you're going to have a little bit more weight. So if the P365 was kind of your max as far as what you could carry and not print or anything like that, or maybe the weight even, this gun may be outside of the scope for you. It depends on what you're doing. If you're pocket carrying or if you're a lady and you wear a little bit tighter clothing, anything like that, this gun is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier. So it's just something, it's a con compared to the 365 basically, okay? But in the big scheme of things, is 2 more rounds worth it to you? I would say definitely. All right, but we'll have to dive deeper into this conversation when we do the comparison. Overall, I like the gun. I like the trigger. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, so don't expect a PPQ style gun right out of the box, okay? It is definitely different than that, but once you get used to it, I think the gun is awesome, man. Now, unless this gun starts having issues, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 because I think what they've done here is fabulous. Let's just hope and pray that the issues stay away and the XL is going to be here to stay. Oh, that was a pretty good run. The optics and stuff, you can, of course, get those down the road if you wanted to do that. I'm not totally sold on my carry guns having optics on them. I get the idea, just not totally sold on it. So, overall, I love the P365 XL. Of course, I love the P365 because it has been nothing but short of reliable and awesome for me. So, this gun, love it. I want to know what your thoughts are down below. Will this gun maybe sway you into buying a P365? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. We will see you guys in the next one. And as always, hold them down.